Hello and welcome back to what is episode 18 of Purple is the Chosen One. Sorry for the slightly long break. I was on holiday for a week down at my mother's in the country, so no internet or anything like that. Gardening and back to grassroots stuff was a nice little change of pace. Got plenty done. Came back with bagfuls of apples and stuff from the garden, which was nice. You're probably wondering why I'm still 17 and not 18. We are halfway through Shan, and yes, I did say we. This character here is the bear, Annie Bear. It's one of the cleric characters she has. She's going to run with us in Shan later, and also Mike from the comments section of the channel has been good enough to join. And so, Purple, for the first time really, has experienced a bit of a party thing. We did, Mike and I did the cogs together. He has a melee cleric, one of those, what do they call them? Dark apostate things. So for the healing, it's a bit difficult, but his self healing is pretty good anyway, I think. But it's taught me an invaluable lesson, which is that don't shoot on sight. Just wait for the melee to group all the stuff around him, then drop all the bombs, and that's an incredibly effective tactic, which I'm sure all of you already know, except for me, who's only ever played alone. But yes, and the thing to do there is to remember to keep throwing a heal his way. Note to self. I did only, for the record, I did only let him die once. So, given that I am barely more use than a hireling on the healing scale, I think I'll take that. So what do we have to... Well, we haven't actually taken 18. My plans for 18, I might as well share as this is the 18 episode. The feat is going to be enlarged to allow us to freeze opponents, with the sound burst or drop big bombs on them, firestorm and holy smite, and then this. I've taken to doing the sound burst hold or the colour spray hold, and then Scott Ash for the fire to get rid of fire immunity or give more fire damage, and then the three AoEs together, and that generally mops everything up. I have been using, look, I haven't abandoned it, the blade barrier in rooms with lots of stuff swarming around. I have kept going with that, and it has done well, so no complaints. I'm glad I've gone into that. And as Purple has been doing a bit on the party side, we've taken the liberty of getting spell resistance mass in there and also freedom of movement mass. I plan to try and get the Death Ward mass when possible, although that is available in clicky form, isn't it, later on? Does that dusk trinket from the sands, is that a mass or is that just self? I don't know that. If it was mass, that would be worth upgrading for epics. Blade barrier I've mentioned. Yeah, it's particularly nice, I think, for if you shoot something from or some things from distance, maybe say blinding them as well with the holy smite, and they come wandering through the blade barrier that you've put in a tight exit from their room. That can be quite tasty. I kind of looked into that in the last Tethymar quest at one stage. Wagon, you will notice I have taken action as you suggested. Apparently there is a problem if you cast spell resistance early in your buffs. Certain other things like this holy aura might not get through the spell resistance then. So I've put spell resistance right at the very end of the stuff to cast, and hopefully that'll solve it. Although I do have greater heroism from these belts coming afterwards, so hopefully we don't get an issue with that. A couple of times, yeah, I've made a note here. A couple of times recently in different quest areas, I've not seen the quest giver at all. So I just wondered if any of you had experienced that. Just been looking for the quest area, seen the golden cup on my map, like these are here, turned around and the thing's not been there for me to click on. So that was a bit weird. And other people, in the same instance in my group, were telling me there was a quest giver there. So strange one that. I've already mentioned I'd kind of got rid of Flame Strike, but I brought it back. To hold and then 3 AoEs is proving a nice combo, and sometimes those two, they're not maximized or anything, just quick, and sometimes those two on their own are not enough. So just that for added finishing power. And I think half of that as well is I think we covered this before. I'm ashamed to say I've forgotten. I have had a week away. It's not fire, definitely, is it? It's some kind of is it alignment damage or something, which is very rarely resisted, I think, if at all. So that's quite nice as a finisher, perhaps. What else do we have noted here? Oh yeah, while I was running around in my mother's attic looking for some extensions to power the tools outside, I came across an old Dungeons and Dragons board game. I can't remember who it was by, but I remember my brother and I having many hours of fun with that. I think there are three box sets in total, like the main big box, and then there was a second like an extension, and then a third one. And I just remember you had a card for each of your heroes. I think there were 4 of them in all, maybe a couple more with the new sets. And then the Dungeon Master had cards for the monsters. So basically I played for the heroes usually, and he did the monsters, and we had to try and make our way to the end. I just wonder if any of you have tried that, because I had, well, he and I had hours of fun with that. I remember the first box, the big box, vividly. I remember the ending. We fought our way all the way to the end, and it was pretty heroic stuff, well balanced until then, it seemed. Touch and go at several points. And then we got to the end boss, which I think was a lich called Necrotim, and there was some fancy mechanic there. I think if you, every turn you spent in his vicinity, you were taking damage anyway, everybody, I think. And then sometimes, I think, whenever you hit him, there was a chance for him to heal some back, or maybe all of it back, or maybe damage you by the same. It just got to the stage where there wasn't just him there either. He was surrounded by folk. It just got to the stage where it was nigh on impossible. So it felt a bit sour at the end. We just got absolutely hammered. But up until then, there was some pretty heroic battles and saves. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I used to go and visit him at his place in Oxford. I'd come off the train maybe 8 or 9 at night, and we'd get the game out, and we'd be off into the early hours. It was great stuff. I mentioned about Mike and the group, so that's been really nice. And that's about it. Right, so no new gear obviously, because we haven't taken a level, but there'll be nothing, I don't think, now until the cap. Nothing else to mention, I don't think, on the spell side. I haven't changed anything round. So we're still sitting around the 50 mark. That's outside of Reaper for the big spells and for the sound burst. That, remember, does not have heighten on it. That would be 52 with heighten, I think, at the moment. I just haven't got it on for to conserve the cost a little bit. You can see here we are sitting in the harbour, surrounded by some very familiar faces from very early DDO quests, if you can remember these two. I say sitting, I can't seem to get the first time I went right through the chair, and this time we're levitating on it. I don't have much luck sitting at tables in this game. And the quest we are going to attempt is this level 16 one. I would have done one in Shan, but we're going to try and do that afterwards with a little group. So we're going to have a go at this one. See how we stack up against these cultists. This is the first one I have attempted since I logged in just now, so prepare for the worst. I'm very tempted to invite our cleric Annie Bear to come with us, but if I do that, I'm worried that you're not going to see who's doing what, and it's going to become a little bit less obvious to follow. I like to tell you what I'm using and when and why and that. So generally speaking, we're going to be leading with either the colour spray or the sound burst, and then followed by the AoE attacks that we have. And a mountain load of lag, because 2 of my spells didn't do anything there. Still not. Was I? No, I don't think I was targeting the right thing there anyway. But there was some quite serious lag there. And there. I'm sure I hit that dog and nothing happened. It did about 5 seconds later. Oh my god. Please don't do this. This is a Sunday evening, by the way, my time, which makes it sort of mid-afternoon Sunday for the Americas, which I guess is why we're having this problem, because it's peak time on Orion. Welcome to the lag fest. That's kind of what I like to do. Hold 3 big AoEs and boom.
I shall go this way and dispatch the rest of this filth.
You go and dispatch the rest of the filth. Little top up in between. Right, so can we have something a bit more cohesive this time, please? Now that's what I'm talking about, yes. They could have done without blowing up the exploding barrels, but you don't expect perfection on this channel, surely. Yeah, nice. Do we have some dogs up over there? Nope. Okay, now let's try and gather everybody around here, and then either colour spray or sound burst. Oh, that was beautiful. See the purple numbers, because we led with the scorch, so they all took more damage from the fire. I'm actually quite glad I've done this quest early, because this is something that one of you, at least one of you, pointed out I should take for the... Is that lag? Is my inventory full? No, it was lag. Okay. Should take for the diplomacy side of things. So we are going to... Where is it? Where is it? What the hell, game? Oh, it's there. I'm going to hold on to that and swap it in whenever we have a diplo check to do. Unfortunately, we've just done a big diplo check in... I forgot to tell you how we got on in Tethymar. I did complete the Tethymar chain, not without difficulty. It certainly wasn't easy, but we got there, and we only died once in the final quest against the purple worms, where I was super sad that I didn't have some kind of instant kill thing. I think this build can get, is it Finger of Death? I'm sure you can get. There's a destruction thing as well. Do we? I don't think we even have any of them selected as spells, do we? No. But against those purple worms, if you can't one-click delete those things, they have masses and masses of hit points. And I was in so much trouble there. I did kill one or two, and then tried to sneak around touching those gate things, but in the end they got that acid damage over time on me. I couldn't seem to get it off with the panacea, and I don't have anti-poison things on me because I thought this panacea would do it all for me. Does it not do poison? It should do poison, shouldn't it? Or maybe it's because it's acid damage and not poison. It doesn't remove it. But anyway, I eventually succumbed to those buggers. So that was a shame. But I was able to use the gibbers, get myself back up again and complete the quest. So we did complete Tethymar. I don't recommend doing it too often for your leveling experience because there's much easier content than that out there. But as an alternative or as a challenge, I was really pleased with how we went there. Rakshas hide. Might as well take it. Oh, a guild level. Nice, nice. If nothing else, I think the foray into Tethymar was a definite test of our survivability, because those things really do hit hard. Between those archers and the blade wielding things, it gets tough in there. I think it was Wagon said we got quite lucky as well with the saves we were using. This goes against a Fortitude, and I think the colour sprays are Will. Yes, it is. And they have extremely high reflex saves, so had we been relying on those, I think we could have found ourselves in a lot of trouble. Come on then. Nice one. The end boss, by the way, in the Tethymar chain has absolutely annihilated me on Legendary Reaper, so I was expecting the worst, but between the one-click heal thing we've got from our faith and the heal spell itself, we did okay there. Remembering to turn away from him when the gaze is turned upon you. Now obviously sound burst and all that's going to do nothing here. Maybe the colour spray would still blind, but not stun. I think fire ought to do alright. Oh, the holy thing should nuke all these, shouldn't it? Not bad. Oh, fire did nothing. Oh, that's bad. That is an abysmal mess, and continues to be so. I can't believe how badly I did there. Let's hope the single target stuff goes a bit better. Can we hold you? No. I know our saves are not good enough to hold him, I don't think. Okay. Let's try the dodge bonus against this guy, because I think he can hit pretty hard. Throw everything at him, is that it? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry I didn't choose a more ambitious quest this time around. There is a reason for that. There are two people maybe waiting to group with Purple to go through the Shan, so I was under a little bit of time pressure to get this out of the way quickly. And I wanted to get a recording in because, as you can see, we already have 18. And if I was to do Shan as well, we might be going through towards 19 and not have done a recording. So there you have it. Anyway, it's the build is still in a really positive place in my opinion, and well, you can see, albeit it's old content that, but he cruised through there, and as part of a group, I think he'd be a really nice asset. You know, he's got the crowd control, he's got the AoE damage, and he's got the heals going on. If I realised I would be doing some grouping later in the life, I would certainly have looked to get some of the AoE heals, you know, Mass Cure, Moderate, or whatever it happens to be, into my spells, which at the moment I don't have any. But going forward, as well as these sort of group buffs, I would like some group heals too, and see if if I can remember to press the bloody things. Okay, I think that about does it for this one. We will be going on and doing Shan. We've already done the cogs, as I mentioned. We'll be going on and doing Shan part 1 and 2, and after that possibly some of Wayloon. The 19 one may come from Wayloon, I think. See if we can choose a decent one in there. Now that should have a lot of sort of dark and dingy stuff. Maybe our light stuff could do particularly well against that. I'd like to think so. Okay, enough waffle for now. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you all in the next one. Take care.